Welcome to day 3 of your beginner's yoga. My name is Corey. Today is going to be fun. Today we're working through the hips. And the hips are kind of our biggest area of the body and probably the most requested thing whenever I teach classes. Because everybody knows, like, your hips just feel tight. They just don't feel good. And hips are pretty much involved in every movement we do when we're walking, sitting, laying. And so getting into your hips and releasing your hips a little bit can really help with pretty much everything in life. So just like with the spine, how we talked about there's 7 movements of the spine, there's 6 movements of the hips. Your hips are a ball and socket joint. So you have this piece, you have this piece, and it fits inside. It goes like this. So there's 6 different ways the hip can move. You have external rotation, the hip opens, internal rotation, the hips closed like this. You have abduction, so ABD, ab, when the hips open out, add when they move in towards each other. You have flexion, and you have extension of the hips. So we're going to go through some postures that touch on each of those, and I'll let you know what they are. The other thing with hips to remember is that when we say hips, it means a lot more than just right here. Hips are essentially your lower back, all of your glute muscles, your hip flexors right here, your hamstrings, and sometimes into your quads. Your quads can really play into it. So when we do hips, we're actually doing all of these different things as well, because they're all related. Lying on the back. So again, get yourself comfortable, whether you have a mat, blanket, towel, whatever. And this time you want some sort of a prop that you can use to hold on to. So I have a hanky here. Maybe it's a light towel that you have. If you have a belt, that works really well. If you have a yoga strap, obviously you can use a yoga strap. I don't actually have one. So just make that somewhere close by you on your side. Right leg is stretched out in front of you, and then bring your left knee in towards your chest. Hands come down to the base of the knee, kind of your shin area, and you're going to pull your knee in towards your chest. This is called wind removing pose, but I want you to gently rock your knee side to side, front and back, maybe taking little circles. And just start feeling at your hip. Just see what's there. And then bring your hands to your hamstring, your heel up towards the ceiling, and you move your knee more towards your armpit. This is half happy baby. This moves into your glute a little bit more. And again, you can rock it side to side, maybe just hold it. If you feel a pinching sensation in here like I do right now, that's your hip flexor. We'll work into that later. And then just do a gentle twist, so bring your knee across your body towards the floor. This time, because we're not actually worried about the spine in this twist, your shoulder can come off a little bit. Maybe it falls down. But it's actually more for your glute and your hip here. So you just want to feel that, kind of see what's happening. Just take a moment. Come back to center. And then reach for your strap. One hand on either side of your strap. Heel comes up towards the ceiling. Strap goes around the ball of your foot, moving into your hamstring. So here you can bend and straighten your leg. You can move it side to side. Maybe bring your toes a little more closer to your chest, just depending on how you feel. The best thing about this is you control the intensity. So maybe your leg is down here, and that's okay, but that's what you need, and you have your strap to support you. Maybe it can come up. If this is too intense, you can also bend your right leg, plant your right foot. Just take some of the pressure off. And then bring both your straps into your left hand. Drop your left foot towards the floor. The key here is that you want your hips to remain flat. So take your right hand to your right hip bone so that you can feel if it lifts off the floor. This moves into your groin. If your leg is here, that's okay. The intention is just to feel it on the inside of your leg here. And then bring your leg back to center. Bring both straps into your right hand. And your leg crosses your body. This moves into your IT band. And wherever you start to feel it, right here is your IT band. That's where you rest. Maybe it's down at the floor. Maybe it's up here like I am right now. Back to center. And release. Legs down in front of you. Arms by your side. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. And then we'll move into the other side. Right knee moves towards your chest. Hands come underneath your knee. Knee rock it side to side. Front and back. Maybe in little circles. And this is a really good one to imagine, that ball and socket joint, the synovial joint. So you've got fluid in there and it's rolling around. It's exactly what you're doing with this one. And then your hands come underneath to your hamstring, heel up towards the ceiling, and move your knee more towards your armpit. Flex your toes, half happy baby. This is just the warm-up version. And again, you can always have your left foot planted if that's too much. And then your right leg crosses your body towards the floor. If this is too intense, always use your prop. You can prop one up underneath. And just take a moment. Feel this hip, glute, AT band area, lower back. And then bring your leg back to center. And we'll move into your hamstrings on the other side. So take your strap. I'll use my other one this side. Around the ball of your foot. Keep your foot flexed because that really keeps it into your posterior chain, so into your calf, into your hamstring. If your foot's up like this, you're not really getting the benefits. So keep your foot flexed as much as you can. And so if that means your foot's flexed and you have to be down here, that's okay. And then you bend, straighten your leg, and you move it side to side. Back and front. And then take both straps into your right hand first. Move your leg down to the side for your groin stretch. Back to center. Straps into your left hand. Cross your body. For your IT band, which is this outer piece from your knee all the way up to your hip, your glute. Back to center and release. Legs both down by your side, arms by your side. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. And then come up, where you roll onto your side, or you just sit up. Bring your left leg forward, right leg to the side. This is called deer. So your right foot's kind of by your bum, right knee is with your left foot. But if your shape looks a little bit different, that's okay, just whatever is comfortable. Shimmy and shake your flesh out from underneath your bum. And then you roll onto your bum, so roll back a little bit, hands behind you. Roll onto your feet and you roll the opposite way. So left knee moves towards your right foot, right knee goes down, and you rock back and forth. Kind of starts to ring out the bum. Where you land on your left side, and you want to come forward towards the left, moving towards the center, moving towards the right knee, coming back to center, left knee, and the center. And here, we're going to hold this for a moment. So take whatever prop you have. And if this is where you're holding it, that's okay. Maybe you come forward a little bit. Maybe you can come all the way down. Just remembering that here you have two things going on. You have external rotation in your left hip and you have internal rotation in your right hip. So you have two things happening at the same time. So it can feel very intense. If it does for you, use your breath. Deepen your inhales, deepen your exhales. Take 5 of those here, 5 deep breaths. Your next inhale, come up. Bring both feet out in front of you. And then do the windshield washer thing. So drop your knees side to side. Then you land on the right side. Right leg's out in front. Left knee moves towards your right foot. Left foot is more by your bum. And here we'll just do the move to the right side. Forward, to the left, back to the center, to the right, back to center. And this is where you land. So we'll take a different prop this time. Come forward. If you have a firmer pillow or a bolster and you're struggling to come down, you can always prop your forehead up like this so you're not having to hold yourself. You can kind of let go. Or maybe you give it a hug. And take 5 good, deep, solid breaths here. Your next inhale, you come up. Bring your right leg straight out in front of you. Bring your left knee in, or left foot in, sorry. So we do something called rock your baby. And so I really like this one because just like the hamstring one, the attention is all up to you. Where you take this posture is all up to you. So lift your left foot up, right arm is underneath your foot. Left arm comes around your knee. And if you can hold on like this, that's great. If not, if it's just here, just go where you're able. And you bring your leg up. And then you just start to rock it side to side. Just like a baby. And maybe you bring your left hand behind you and you can roll onto your glute and start rocking. And trust me, you're going to find little spots, like little tennis balls in your glute. Rock side to side. And even if your leg is out here, still do it, because that means that's where the tension is and you're going to be getting benefits. And release. Maybe roll out your ankles. And then we'll do the other side. So right foot comes in, left arm goes around your foot, right arm around your knee. Maybe you grasp on and you rock. And again, it's up to you how deep you go. Maybe it's just little rocks. And again, right hand can go behind and you can roll onto your glute. Maybe you go in circles, back and forth. And release. And we'll move into pigeon. Pigeon is probably the most commonly asked for position in any yoga class. So we'll work with pigeon for a minute. So in pigeon, you're going to start with the left side. So left knee forward, left foot's angled out to the side, right leg goes straight behind you, toes are untucked, and you want to be in the middle here first. If you can bring your foot forward, you can, so it's parallel to the front of your mat. But if you can't do that, that's not necessary. The key here is that your hips are straight. So think of headlights and that your headlights are going forward. So if you feel like you're rolling like this, say to the left side, bring your roll-up towel or your block or something to prop your bum up so that you're flat and square. If you're rolling to the other side, you bring your prop underneath your quad so that you stay nice and square. That's the main key in this position. You don't want to rush it. And so just take a moment. Is this already intense? If it is, stay here. Maybe you can prop enough props up high so that you can rest a little bit there. Maybe you can come down a little bit. Start with elbows. Maybe you come down and rest your forehead on something. Maybe you come all the way to your mat. Just remembering that your hips need to stay nice and square. So if you're square here and then as soon as you come down, you do this, you've lost the whole reason you're doing the posture. You're not actually getting any benefits. And take 5 breaths here. Now, if your toes tuck when you come down, it means you're doing something good. It means you just tried to take the tension out of your hips. So untuck your toes, let them go, let the tension be where it needs to be. Breathe into it. And come up. And it can just often feel really good to lengthen your leg in some way. So just bring your left leg straight behind you and just make it nice and straight, stretching out your calf, your hamstring. And then we'll move to the other side. Right knee comes forward, left leg straight behind. Untuck your toes. Come up to the center first and square. Before you come down, relax your shoulders down, relax your face, and consciously think of letting go of that tension in your hips, in your bum, in your hamstring, wherever you're feeling it. Just soften. Come back up. Roll into your bum. I'll show you a few versions of this posture. And so butterfly originally is feet together, knees wide here. I'll show you a lying version as well. So if this is just way too intense, if you're already sitting up and this is way too intense, take the lying version. But maybe you're here and it's okay. You can always prop your knees up with books, blocks, whatever you have. Maybe you can come forward. This is external rotation in both hips, so both hips are opening up. Then you come forward. Again, you can prop your forehead up on the bolster or a big pillow. The other version is simply bringing something behind your back, whether it's your bolster or a nice pillow. Feet together, knees wide again. So it comes right up to the flat part, and then you just lay down. And that can take some of the pressure off when you're doing this. In this version, it's also really good for the groin because you're allowing the gravity to pull your knees open, pull your hips open. And so if you feel like your groin's really tight, that version can really help as well. So be here for 5 breaths. Wherever you are, release your props. Come to lie flat on your back. And we'll move into full happy baby. So we started with half. Full, you bring both your heels up towards the ceiling. And now try to keep as much of your back grounded as you can. We tend to kind of roll right up into a ball when we do this, but you want to keep your back down. So in order to keep your back down, you have to come into hamstring version, that's okay. But maybe your hands can come to the outside of your feet or inside of your feet, and they pull your knees down towards your armpits. Heels stay elevated, so you look like a baby. You can rock side to side. Maybe one leg straightens and the other. And you can have fun with this one. Your heels can come together. Roll it out. And then release. And move into your final Shavasana. Again, take the version, the shape of it that you need. Thank you so much for sharing your hip journey with me. Namaste.